Ladies, gentlemen, strokes of all folks, welcome back to Ron Talks Tabletop. I'm going to correct an oversight. As you folks know, Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition is my favorite superhero game. I love it so much. I've run it a couple of times. I'm about to run my long running superhero campaign using this system instead of icons. Love me some icons. It's high time that I do some Prowlers and Paragons. So that's happening with my superhero group. But as this is a channel where I do a flip through of books, I have not done Paragon's Ultimate Edition. So we're gonna do that right now. I think I'm gonna do Pinnacle City's Most Wanted here at a later date. Um, well, by the way, I am a drive-through RPG affiliate. If you want to buy this, there will be a link in the description below where you can click that and go buy this or buy some other PDF. Help a brother out. Anyway, so we're here. Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition. At the cover, the world needs heroes. Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition includes everything you need to create a unique superheroes and play exciting stories right out of comic books and movies. Within these pages, you'll find countless powers. Take a stand, join the fight, be a hero. Got designing and writing by Lynn Pimentel, additional design Sean Fannin. You got the rest of the credits here. The table of contents. This is about a 200-page PDF, slightly less. We got the forward, written by Sean Fannin, talking about his journey to find the perfect superhero game, and he ended here and collaborated with Lynn to um, revise and expand Prowlers and Paragons, although Prowlers and Paragons Original Edition is a fine game. Then we got the introduction by Leonard, your stereotypical what is role-playing section, and then glossary, some more art. Superhero games are made or broken by the art. We're going to talk about the basics. And folks, I've talked about how to play this game, so I'm not going to explain it once again. It is a dice pool game where you're counting successes and to a threshold and all that kind of stuff. Then you got the chapter on characters here, including character creation, a list of powers here, and then obviously we're gonna descriptions of how they work. I do want to talk about this section here. Now, if you want to run a grittier Prowlers and Paragons game, the specialty power is important. But if you're playing like your standard four color or modern age, medium to high power superheroes, specialty really isn't a thing that should be too focused on in your game. Anyway, that section on pros and cons would obviously modify your powers. Some of the powers have pros and cons, but this is also a general section of pros and cons, which you can apply to just about any power. You got perks, which are kind of like feats, right? You got NPC and you have flaws. It talks about advancement, and I've used this random hero generator to help me generate a character called Bison, who's a power suit guy. Pretty cool. It gets you a good bit of the way there. It's neat. Then it talks about how actions work and all stuff. And it's pretty narrative by default, but you could also make it less narrative and more like slightly more deterministic if that's your flavor. Then we have the combat section, and there's some pretty neat things that go on here. You have gritty combat rules. Once again, it's talking about gritty combat. Then there's an example of combat. I gotta go back. By the way, not go back in the PDF, but there is a setting called Blood and Justice, which is an Iron Age 90s setting, an analog of my hometown New Orleans, which is excellent. Let me know if you folks want me to do a flip through of Blood and Justice. It talks about resolving adversity, which is a meta currency in this game. Equipment section. then a section on friends and foes. So I'm gonna the super mook section. Let me read this. It says, if you find yourself in a pinch as GM and don't have the stat block you need for a particular enemy, you can always use what we like to call super mooks. Super mooks are simple characters you create on the fly. To create a super mook, give them a threat rank, just like you would for a minion. Use this threat rank for most purposes, and half this rank for anything the character isn't supposed to be. Then give the character one or more specialties, and give each a trait rank. That's it. Your super mook is done. And let me tell you, folks, I run this game, and I lean on this rule. And as a matter of fact, my first session back to running Prowlers and Paragons, I use this for actually for the two players. I'm like, guys, I said list these 5 based on your characters from icons. Give me a list of these things that you do in order, and give each of these a trait. You have this rank at this trait, this rank at this trait, and everything like that. And for a quick and dirty on the fly conversion, because I just wanted to get in on the action and start playing, it worked pretty well. Now we're in the process of doing like a full on conversion per se, but it did work for me in a pinch when I just like, you know what, I just want to play. So yeah, but super mooks, I highly approve. Got some animal stat blocks here. Got extras, you know, your NPCs and low-level minion type monsters. And then we have your stat blocks for NPC heroes and villains. Some of these are player-made from the original Kickstarter, like Blast Wave. Those were made by a guy named Brett, I remember. I'm not going to remember all of these off the top of my head, but there's 2 that I remember. Blast Wave was one of them, and I'll show you the other one. Eidolon, this guy made by a guy named Sean. I wonder how those guys are doing. And these are all heroes, by the way. The villains will have a different color. Okay. I don't remember if Vigilant was a Kickstarter character or not. No. Here we go. Then we got the enemy NPCs. Got a chapter talking about superhero gaming philosophy and how to do all of that stuff and creating stories. It's really good advice, actually. And then we got a character sheet. And then we got a list of backers. I'm here somewhere. And then we have an index. Important for books to have indexes, folks. And that is it. I hope that helped you make a decision on deciding to pick this up. Like I said, there's other Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition products that I want to do. And I just thought about something. I talked about Strike Force by Aaron Alston. Also, another superhero supplement that I love, that I use for more than just superhero stuff, is the Supervillain Handbook. So I may revisit those in this flip through format. Let me know what you folks think. And until next time, see you later.